morning. So I wanted to make a part 2 video on my tips about online dating, because I've realized I left some things out. One thing that I think is really important, first of all, is just your attitude about the online dating. Again, I know you can see something on the news and something tragic happened to someone, but that's going to be one out of like many people, like thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people. You got to go into it with a good attitude, and the attitude that you're just doing this for practice. It's always about practice, because sometimes we get rusty and we haven't talked to a stranger in forever, so we need to just kind of get out there. So just keep that in mind. You want to have strategies when you're online dating. For me, I'm not big on the whole texting, doing a whole lot of texting back and forth. Some people will text you forever and they will never need to have a conversation with you. And you have to know yourself. If you're fine with that, then fine. But if you're not, like me, we can do a few texts initially, but I like to hear a person's voice. There's a lot if you really listen, you can learn a lot about a person. You can hear when they answer the phone and they sigh because they're not interested in you. You can hear that. You can't hear that in a text. Or you can hear the opposite when they answer the phone and they're so excited to hear your voice. You can hear that as well. So I always like a phone call versus a text. But again, we live in a technology world today, so people will want to text you, but just at some point, I go with a phone call, because I just like to do that. And that's why, again, I have the Google Voice number that I use, the Google Voice phone number, because I don't have any problem initially if me and the person have corresponded back and forth a couple times. I don't have any problem saying, hey, here's my number. If you want to give me a call, you can give me a call. This is my number. I don't have any problem doing that early on in the conversation, because I know it's not my phone number. And even though I didn't mention this before, but even though you can give them your real phone number, you can always block them. But why bother? Why have to bother with that when you can just give them a different number? Just make sure every time you call them, you use that number, you go into that app and call them. But I just think it saves you from having to deal with blocking them, and then they have your real number, and then they can connect it with other I just forget all of that. Let me just give you this Google Voice number. And I had one gentleman who had a big problem with that, and he even was very aggressive with me on the phone, saying that, no, you're going to give me your real number. And right there, that was a red flag that this was not someone I wanted to be, involved with. So I ended that right then and there. Another thing, that leads into not look for red signs, but when you see a red flag, it's a red flag. And you have to, as women, we are intuitive. You have to use that with this process. If you see red flags in the very beginning, it's a red flag for a reason, and it's going to come up later in another form. But don't dismiss those red flags. Just but be mindful of them and look out for them. The other thing is, know what you want. Know what you want, and don't compromise that. If you want someone with no kids, and you have a reason for that, then stick with that. Don't flip-flop just because it's a guy. You met a guy and you're going to change your values, your, what you really want. You're going to change that because you met someone. No, stick with what you want, because it'll come back later. And you won't be happy. Trust me, you won't be happy. Just stick with what you want, what you really want, and stick with that. You will find someone. There's a website, a dating website. I'm not recommending this website at all, but it's called Plenty of Fish. And just the name of it, there are plenty of fish out here. There are plenty of men and women that are out here that are single. Again, nobody goes around wearing a t-shirt that says, I'm single and available. How about you? Nobody does that. But there are more people out here single than you realize. And sometimes I think we look on social media platforms and we see people, they're posting their anniversaries and things, and we're thinking, wow, everybody has someone. Everybody's married, or they're dating, they're with someone. But that's not always the case. And you have to know that. You just have to know that, and you have to have faith that you will find your person. But you definitely have to stay in the game. You're not going to meet someone sitting home every Friday night watching the Housewives or whatever show. You've got to put in the work to find someone. So, I just wanted to share more of those tips about dating online, because it can be scary if you've never done it before. It can definitely be scary, but it's all about strategy, I think, and it's about a lot of common sense. Definitely use your common sense, and I know common sense is not always so common. Everybody doesn't. I think everybody has common sense for on some level, but I don't think everybody always uses common sense. Okay, but just wanted to share some tips, because I have been dating online for a while now, and no, I haven't found my person, but that's okay. I'm still open to the possibility of it. I'm not I'm open to the possibility. So I just want you to be safe when you're out here, but also have fun, and but don't be so serious about it. It's not, don't be so serious, because people can read that from you a mile away. Go out, meet people, have different experiences with people, but just be safe. Just make sure you're safe. Oh, always let someone know where you are. Definitely, when you're dating someone, or I say dating, but when you're entertaining someone new, always have a girlfriend or just a friend or family member, someone, know where you are. Okay, I'm going to this restaurant tonight. I should be there around this time, and just always let someone know where you're going to be, just for your safety. That's common sense to me. But again, everybody doesn't always use common sense, because you get so caught up in the moment and you think, oh, this is my person. Well, let's see if they're your person. They may very well be, but let's see. Let's give it some time. I would say, for me at least, when you're talking to someone on the phone and going out with them on occasion, maybe after 3 months or so, you start to kind of, that's when a real relationship starts to form. At least for me. And at the 3-month mark, if this is not taking off, or it's not going in the direction that I'm looking for it to go in, we need to evaluate, or I need to evaluate, is this some person I want to pursue? Or is this someone I want to pursue me? And it's okay to exit left, or exit, at the next, turn off at the next exit. It's okay. It's okay. You don't owe anybody anything. As a decent person, just as an adult, and owe them a conversation to say, you know what, this isn't working for me. If that's the case, you owe them I feel, and this is just my opinion. You do whatever you want. My opinion is that you owe them at least a conversation, because I feel like I'm owed at least a conversation. I would prefer it in person. If this is someone that I'm dating, if we've got semi-serious, I would like it in person. But if not, at least give me a phone call. Don't send me a text. But whatever. But at least let me know. And you do the same. Let them know, so they're not thinking that it's something that it's not. Or it's going somewhere that it's not. So I recommend that, because life is a big circle, and whatever you give out, you get back. So whatever you don't want to get back, don't give that out. Don't be nasty to people for no reason. And that's it. That's all I have for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment below. What do you think about dating online?